Hi Taurus, here's a general look at your solar chart for December 2011, and may I wish you a Merry Christmas. This is an important gear shifting phase for you, and you'll probably feel a little tentative as you gauge where your priorities are. You're weighing things up, you're considering your position, and figuring out how best to move forwards. It's not a real sort of really out there all singing or dancing time. It's actually a time in which you could be moving from one level to another, but in the process you have to kind of let something go and make a sort of a breakthrough. It could be a little bit emotional for some of you as well. It doesn't have to be, but it might be. It's also like you feel as though you've got to tread carefully with what you say with certain people, keeping your cards close to your chest, not letting out all of your opinions, because you know it's not worth your while, because you'll lose out if you do that. And also there's a situation, it might be a financial one, it might be around property, where there's a kind of a mutual situation going on. They provide you with a resource, but in return in exchange you have to give them a resource, whatever that is. It could be money, or it could be property or material objects. Now there is a very upbeat energy where your ruling planet, Venus, is concerned, which means places and faces at a distance, or those from a different culture you find more appealing at the moment, and love relationship or friendship or family relationships could revolve around those at a distance, a foreign culture, travel, or in fact an educational environment as well. All month discussions and ideas may have to incorporate the requirements of others. By the way, when I said educational environment, I didn't necessarily mean a formal one, or that could be. You learning through doing something that you very much enjoy. That's what I mean. So anyway, discussions and ideas and the focus of your attention, you realize it's got to incorporate the requirements and needs and rules and regulations of certain others, and you might be thinking more deeply about things, feeling a bit introspective, as I say, keeping your cards close to your chest, perhaps sensing more than thinking really at certain moments, and using that intuition of yours. Emotions will be more sensitive, and a certain relationship could be touching you quite deeply, whether that is a full-on sort of romantic relationship or another kind of love link, like with family or with an animal, like a pet. Yes, it is possible to be in love with a pet, as of course many of you out there will agree. But like something touches you kind of deeply there. And on the flip side, it's probably easier for somebody to push your buttons as well, because you care. You really care. They matter. You can be almost obsessively caring. So it won't be that difficult. Just boop, there's your button push. Look, he's going off like a fruit machine, or whatever those things are called, a pinball machine. That's right. So anyway, it might be like that. It might not. But just trust your gut. Avoid, if you can, emotional knee-jerk reactions, because you want to get somewhere, and emotional knee-jerk reactions might not get you anywhere. You may be preoccupied, as I say, with emotional matters, with relationship matters, with finances, property matters, and anything that you share with a kind of joint interest with another, or that due or owed, either owed to you or by you, sort of thing. By the way, this could be a very sizzly time for romance. I should have mentioned that, shouldn't I? Because of where Mars is. But again, it can be a little bit over the top, and you throwing caution to the wind. Mars is in a very playful maybe rather irresponsible area, giving you the urge to be more creative and spontaneous, in fact giving you the urge to party probably. So whatever's going on, you'll have the chance to access perhaps more entertainment, a more playful side of your nature, perhaps more time spent with buddies or lovers or children. This is an area to do with children or animals. There's the animals again. And just getting involved in something that you enjoy, like I said earlier, which makes you feel good. And whatever you're doing or whoever you're doing it with, you'll probably get the chance to throw yourself into it wholeheartedly. I mean, it might be an artistic sort of a thing as well, because this area is about creative self-expression. But just avoid flying by the seat of your pants or trusting to luck if there's anything around, you know, the material side of life, like money or goods, because, as I say, Mars can be, you know, can leap first and wonder why they did it later, or make you wonder why you did it later. You'll probably start to feel more adventurous, more like taking a risk or a gamble, more like putting yourself out there on the market, sort of thing, beating the drum on something. That's what I mean. I don't mean selling yourself. And as I say, but don't trust the luck. Don't take it. Don't take too much of the gap. Don't put your shirt, you know, on something. Always keep at least a sleeve back. More physical effort may be needed related to the affairs of young people, children, animals, romantic partners, and any sort of project which is kind of a bit of a gamble, a bit of a risk, a bit speculative. From the 22nd is a period for you to check out new possibilities and expand into new areas, though, and it is far more outgoing, and you will not have that sort of very kind of turned inward feeling as much, even though your mind will still be pretty preoccupied with things. There's also going to be a total solar eclipse of the sun. It would be a solar eclipse, which already you may have been feeling coming on since November. This is the weird thing about eclipses. For you, it's going to signal fresh starts related to finances, property, possessions, you know, your material security over months ahead, but also your physical well-being as well. And it could be good news if if you've been feeling off balance health-wise, or with, you know, diet and the like, your weight or whatever. Then this solar eclipse is going to open the door for several months to come to you. It's up to you to make those changes for the better. But it will aid and abet that anyway. Now, every month I go over the outer, slower moving planets from Jupiter through Pluto. You can leave this video now if you like and just go and read about the details on my website, but here I'm just going to skip through them. Jupiter is in your sign, Taurus. Lucky you. It comes around once every 12 years. It's going to be there until June 2012. And this ushers in general, a cycle of expansion in your life, helping you to get involved in new areas of interest, whether you choose them or not. Sometimes something lands in your lap out of a clear blue sky. But definitely helping you to widen your scope, learn through doing. Jupiter's the learning through doing planet, and giving you a wider range of options. Some of you are likely to travel more or have more interaction with those at a distance, or with a culture which is unfamiliar, or hanging out with people who are not quite, you know, what you're used to. You could also be mingling with people in an educational, so it could be centered around an educational sort of scenario or institution, or if it's informal, then you just going to somewhere where you're learning a lot, you know, as you're in the experience, you're learning an awful lot, and this will stand you in good stead in the future. Just gives you a better balanced perspective about what's going on, you know, in life, the universe, and everything, but particularly your life. Saturn is still in this area that's making you roll up your sleeves and work quite hard. But I think the long transit of Mars now, in this more playful, giggly sort of area, is going to offset some of that Saturn stuff. Mars is going to be there until past mid-2012, and Saturn is coming out of the quite hard-working area in autumn 2012, so that should be a help. That means that you are in this cycle of having to be more self-disciplined with daily work routines, whether that's at home or at work, and just being more aware of what's good for you or for somebody that you're caring for and what is not. On very practical levels, it might be around diet and exercise, it might be around food. And so consider perhaps cleansing regimes for yourself, therapy, getting into stuff which is going to help you to feel better, like practices, which is going to help you feel better, or getting into a work kind of routine at home or at work, which is going to help you build something. Now, you will be building anyway, even though it feels like sometimes rather repetitive and rather hard going at times, that you've got to keep turning up and doing what needs to be done, whether you like it or not. But you will be building your strength, your character. You are a very determined sign anyway. And some of you could be actually building something tangible that you can see, like a garden or some sort of wonderful project that you're doing. So it really will be standing you in good stead in the future for the hard work you're putting in now, even though it's not that easy at times. For several years, Uranus will be working from behind the scenes, giving you sudden insights, maybe helping you to tie up loose ends from the past. Sudden events that you weren't expecting can happen though, and also you should be looking into your own perhaps counterproductive emotional knee-jerk responses which never get you anywhere, but might make you feel better just in the moment, and that's all. And some of you, though, with this energy here, could be working innovatively or altruistically or in a humanitarian way for others. Some of you could be working selflessly for a common cause with a group of others, kind of behind the scenes in like a circle or a cloistered sort of environment. It could also mean that you have stronger dreams. It might also mean that you are getting into yoga and yoga meditation and that sort of thing, because that would be a very smart way to use this energy. Just understand that Uranus is in the house of higher service and unconditional love and compassion, so no pressure there then. But there could be, somebody really relying on you, or if it's not a somebody, it might be a something that's really relying on your ongoing nurturing TLC for it to thrive and to flourish, you see. And you, Taurians born 20th to 21st of April, or with up to 2 degrees of Taurus rising, will be feeling that this month the most, I think. Neptune's gone into late Aquarius temporarily until next February, meaning that again there could be blurred lines or confused thinking about your role in the world, and you might feel overlooked. You might feel as though others are using you. There could be this feeling of just not being appreciated, but this is that Neptune does not have ego, so in this area here it's a bit awkward sometimes. This position works well for anything in the arts, anything to do with healing or spiritual work, psychic work or charitable work, and that type of thing where you're not out for yourself, but you're there to be a bridge for others, or you're there to use your imagination, you're there to use your psychic third eye, maybe. That's when it can work very, very well. Taurians born on the 18th, 21st of May, or with the first or last 2 degrees of Taurus rising, will feel this influence mostly this month. It's very good for music as well, and dance, by the way. For many years, Pluto will subtly facilitate internal gear shifts and changing your feelings on really fundamental levels, evolving your consciousness, and old doors will close, new doors will open, and you will be very much reborn here. And this could be centered around travel, those at a distance, foreign culture, higher education. Taurians born 25th to the 30th of April, or with 4 to 9 degrees of Taurus rising, will feel this influence mostly this month. And that's it for December. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, you might like to listen to those. They may make sense to you, they may not. And once again, may I wish you a very happy time over the Christmas holidays, and I'll see you the next time.